What's up, 92 Percenters? Welcome back to another episode of New Heights. Unfortunately, it probably won't be as good as the last episode of New Heights, where we set our own records, we set podcasting records, we set a Guinness Book.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were reported to have taken their relationship to the next level as news spread that the two had become engaged, a development that many described as something out of a romantic comedy, though in this case the characters were not a high school teacher couple, but a Kansas City Chiefs all-pro tight end and one of the most famous global pop stars of all time, both aged 35. Who made their announcement in a joint Instagram post that took the internet by storm. On August 26th, an event that quickly made headlines across the world and ignited endless discussions among fans and media outlets alike as the 5 photographs they shared painted the full story, showing Travis down on one knee in a lush garden while Taylor smiled widely as she displayed a massive ring, the kind of diamond that was so dazzling it was described as visible from space. A moment long awaited by millions ever since whispers about their relationship began surfacing in July of 2023 when Travis had playfully mentioned on his New Heights podcast that he brought a friendship bracelet containing his phone number to one of Taylor's era's tour stops at Arrowhead Stadium, a move seen as audacious yet clever, one that ultimately paid off far beyond expectations. And from that spark grew a romance that culminated in this engagement announcement that shocked fans and proved the speculation true, leaving many to wonder what their shared future would look like, and particularly raising the question of where the two would decide to build a home together, considering that each had already amassed a staggering collection of properties across the country, properties that themselves told the story of their individual journeys, successes, and personal tastes, beginning with Taylor's extensive and carefully curated real estate portfolio, which seemed to evolve alongside her artistic career. Reports recalled that when Taylor was only 19, at the crest of her breakout success, she purchased her very first home, a 3-bedroom penthouse in Nashville situated near Music Row, for the sum of $1.99 million, a remarkable investment for someone so young, which proved why since today the property is estimated at more than $5 million, reflecting both Nashville's booming market and her knack for smart decisions, and that marked only the beginning as in 2011. She expanded further by acquiring a Greek Revival-style estate in the Nashville suburb of Forest Hills, set to serve as her mother's residence and cherished for the family memories it held, while in the very same year she shifted attention to the West Coast and bought a Cape Cod-style cottage in Beverly Hills for $3.55 million, a home known for its storybook charm that became the backdrop for countless photographs, though eventually she sold it in 2018. For $4 million as her taste matured and her career soared, with each transaction proving she not only had an ear for music but also an instinct for property value, for by 2012 she was already adding a mid-century bungalow to her growing list for $1.78 million, which she later sold for $2.65 million, another profitable move. Yet her crown jewel in California came in 2015 when she purchased a mansion in Beverly Hills for $25 million, a property not just notable for its luxury but for its legacy, as it once belonged to Samuel Goldwyn, the founder of a major film studio, giving Taylor a residence steeped in Hollywood history with expansive lawns and prestige, befitting a superstar of her stature. But her acquisitions did not end there. She famously bought a massive oceanside estate in Watch Hill, Rhode Island in 2013 for $17.75 million, reportedly paid in cash, a home that swiftly entered pop culture thanks to the 4th of July party she hosted, gatherings attended by stars like Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, and Gigi Hadid, making the house nearly mythological for fans who even considered it a pilgrimage site, and her real estate saga only continued when she turned toward New York in 2014, securing not just one but 2 adjoining penthouses in Tribeca for $20 million, which she combined into one sprawling multi-level condo with glamour and privacy. And while renovations occurred, she rented a West Village carriage house for $39,500 per month, a period that deepened her love for New York's vibrancy, leading her by 2017 to purchase a nearby townhouse for $18 million, and by 2018 she further expanded by buying a $9.65 million apartment in the same building, demonstrating that her vision for property was expansive, and that she was not simply collecting houses, but assembling an empire reflective of her evolution from country singer to international icon. At this point, a quick note reminds listeners not to miss future updates and to subscribe for more stories like this, short and sweet. Meanwhile, Travis Kelce's journey in real estate followed a different trajectory, shaped by the demands of professional football and his attachment to home values. As the Ohio native who grew up near Cleveland found his career leading him to some of the most desirable areas across the country, one of which was in Florida during the summer of 2025 when he rented an extravagant estate worth $20 million in Boca Raton within the exclusive Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club, reportedly paying $90,000 monthly, a place that gave him the ideal off-season retreat with luxury and proximity to the beach while keeping him distant from football's relentless grind, though his permanent base remained in Kansas City where he owned a $6 million mansion in a gated community, a home that balanced luxury amenities with Midwestern sensibilities, symbolizing how he stayed grounded despite fame. And before this upgrade, he had resided in a 7-bedroom home in Kansas City's Briarcliff West neighborhood, purchased in 2019 for $995,000, showing the steady rise in his property choices as his career advanced. While Florida also carried personal meaning since his mother Donna lived full-time in Orlando's Baldwin Park neighborhood in a condo, underscoring how family ties shaped his decisions as much as football did. With their engagement dominating news cycles, attention now shifted to speculation about where Taylor and Travis would settle, since between her estates spanning Nashville, Beverly Hills, Rhode Island, and New York, and his homes in Kansas City and rentals in Florida, the couple had an overwhelming selection of luxurious possibilities, leaving observers to debate whether they would choose the elegance and history of the Beverly Hills mansion, the ocean breezes and glamour of Watch Hill, the cultural pulse of New York, or the closeness to the NFL field in Kansas City, with some even suggesting they might build a custom retreat that merged Taylor's passion for historical architecture with Travis's preference for modern design, a choice fully within reach given their combined wealth. What captivated fans most was not only their fame, but how their story unfolded in ways that felt at once extraordinary and relatable, a romance tracked publicly from podcast hints to viral Instagram posts, with their homes reflecting ambition and sanctuary. Taylor's journey through properties aligning with her transformation into a global star, while Travis's choices illustrated his rise from Ohio roots to NFL legend, together embodying a different kind of celebrity, couple defined less by scandals and more by mutual respect, making their engagement not just a personal victory but a cultural milestone, sparking dreams among admirers of what would follow. As speculation grew, people wondered whether they might host their wedding in a historic mansion filled with family and friends, or divide time between coasts, or perhaps focus on building a life in one single location, with all outcomes pointing to a future guaranteed to be memorable, for regardless of where they chose to live, they were expected to leave an indelible mark, and their story, still unfolding, promised surprises and inspiration just as previous chapters had delivered, reinforcing that in the world of glitz it was still love that commanded the spotlight, and that sometimes the least expected matches produce the most remarkable stories. Around the globe, fans raised glasses to their engagement while anticipating the next post, the next performance, or the next reveal, with consensus being that the best was yet to come. And at this stage, a second reminder for viewers was given, asking them simply to subscribe if they wanted to keep up with the latest, another short and casual call to action. In reflecting on Taylor's property empire from Nashville penthouse beginnings to Tribeca's stronghold, from Rhode Island cash purchase to Beverly Hills landmark estate, it was clear her real estate choices paralleled her growth from small-town dreamer to world-dominating performer, while Travis's path from Ohio to Kansas City stardom with off-season retreats in Florida highlighted how his roots and career demands blended, and together their combined portfolios symbolized not extravagance alone, but the foundation of a shared life that many were now eager to witness. And the narrative ended with the acknowledgement that this engagement, while personal, resonated far beyond, reminding everyone that amidst fame and glamour, genuine connection still mattered, leaving people across the world eager for the continuation of their story. And a final brief encouragement appeared, simply telling audiences to subscribe so they would not miss what came next, closing the report with the assurance that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's journey was only beginning, and that the unfolding chapters would hold even greater revelations for all watching.